Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am in my kitchen today and I want to talk to you guys about all of my favorite things that I've purchased since I've moved here. I did a lot of research about everything that I bought because I wanted things that would last and that I could really take with me as I move through life. So without further ado, let's get into all of my favorite items in my kitchen. And if you guys are interested in anything that I mentioned, I'm going to try to list everything in the description box down below, so make sure to check it out there. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so as you guys can tell, our kitchen is set up in a kind of hallway style. So everything is heading back. So we're gonna start here at the front of my kitchen. In this first drawer, something that I really wanted to get were great quality chef's knives. So these are actually from a store called Corin in Manhattan. And I got 3 knives because that's what I think every chef needs. A small paring knife, a chef's knife, a bread knife. And these knives, I've had them for months now, and I have to say I absolutely love them. The weight of them in my hand is really comfortable, and I have an amazing time cutting everything. Tomatoes, I find, are like the real test of a good chef's knife, because if you can cut the tomato without smushing it, then you know that you're in the clear, and those definitely pass the tomato test. Back over here, I have a toaster oven, and this was actually given to us by a family member, which was super generous of them. When we were deciding what we wanted in our kitchen, we knew that we wanted to keep appliances to the minimum, but I really love a toaster. And growing up, I always had a traditional toaster, you know, one that you pop down and it pops the toast up. But when this was sent to us, I was like, that's actually a great idea, because when you're in an apartment setting and it's just 2 people in a space, you don't always want to turn on your big oven, especially in a kitchen like this. It traps in heat. So this toaster oven by Breville does everything. It can toast, you know, just a single piece of toast if that's what you want, but it could also be used for like reheating food or baking, and it's absolutely amazing. We've loved having this and highly recommend. I have a few things that I want to talk about in here. First off is a stainless steel skillet. This one is from All Clad. I invested in the 3-ply All Clad pan. I absolutely love this. It gets used on a daily basis. It's already showing a lot of staining because I do, like, this is my workhorse pan. Highly recommend it. Really comfortable to hold, really good at like tossing things, and really, really love a good pan. Speaking of long-lasting cookware, this is my Dutch oven. This one's by Le Creuset. Absolutely love it. I did get this before moving to this apartment, but these are amazing if you're someone who likes to make any kind of like stew or sauces, things like that, things that want to simmer for a really long time. What I absolutely love about this is not only do I use it for things like making meatballs or like a Sunday sauce, but I also use it when I make bread, because you can use the cover to kind of help steam a loaf that you're baking, things like that. I love that you can take it from the stovetop straight to the oven. We've cooked a lot of stuff in here, and I know that it's going to last me for years and years to come. I mean, these are honestly passed down from generation to generation, so highly recommend. I know that these are a bit of a pricier item, but I think worth the splurge. And it's like a nice arm workout because they weigh a ton. And the last pan that I have, I actually keep in the oven because it is my cast iron skillet. This is probably the cheapest pan that I have in this kitchen. It's by Lodge, and it's just, I think it's like a 10-inch skillet. I love this because I can do everything from like frying chicken cutlets in here. I can use it as a non-stick pan for scrambled eggs, but then I can also make really fun things in here like a Dutch baby pancake. And you know, that you need a pan that's safe for the oven, and I just love a cast iron skillet for something like that. I also make really good cornbread in here. That's like really great. This is my like reach in drawer. It has all of my utensils and things like that. And something that I absolutely love in here is my scale. If you guys have watched my channel for a while, you may know that I absolutely love to bake, and something that's made a huge difference in my baking is the idea of weighing your ingredients rather than scooping them. This is a much more accurate way to bake, and it's also, to me, much easier for cleanup because I don't have to dirty a bunch of scooping or measuring cups. and it's really accurate, really easy to use, and the OXO one is my favorite. I've had another one in the past, but this one, I just love the setup of it. It can hold a really big bowl, and it's also really easy to read. This is another fun little gadget. This is a bench scraper, but this one is specifically from Rachel Ray. During COVID, I was like watching all of these videos about, you know, tools and cooking, and I liked that Rachel Ray designed this bench scraper with the scooping sides. It's really easy then when I'm chopping vegetables and doing food prep to scoop everything up and transport over to a bowl with these little sides that keeps everything from falling. But if I want one that is flat for like getting a dough off the counter or something like that, I can turn it over. This is really inexpensive, but really recommend. This is another favorite gadget of mine. It's the ThermoPen. This is the most accurate food thermometer that you can find. You can only order it through ThermoWorks. That's like the maker of it. So there are dupes of it on Amazon, but I've had those and this is actually much better. It gets a really accurate temperature reading. So like right now it's telling me that my kitchen is 78 degrees, which is probably a little too hot, going up to 79. And this is just amazing because you never want to undercook something like chicken, but then also if you're someone who likes red meat, you also don't want to overcook your steak. So having one of these is really, really helpful. Back here, I keep all of my cutting boards, and I want to talk about these for a second. I'm going to link the exact brand that I picked these from down below. I did a little bit of research and I found that these were super long lasting cutting boards and ones that were really versatile. So I have a few cutting boards here, but I keep one for cutting everyday items. I do have one that is dishwasher safe for things like raw chicken. And then I do have a bigger one that is for cutting things like bread or, you know, just larger items. I find that it's nice to have a few different cutting boards because if you want to use one for like serving cheese, this one looks really cute and decorative while also being useful. But then I'll also have another cutting board that if that one's in use, I can go on to using the next. Up here, I also keep some like easy reach oils, salt and pepper, things like that. One thing that I absolutely love is garlic sea salts. Seasoned, pre-seasoned salts are really nice to have in your kitchen, and I find that I reach for this a lot. And I like to have a lot of salads, and sometimes I'm a little bit too lazy to make my own dressing. So rather than get a pre-made salad dressing, I have found that I really like just straight white balsamic to put on a salad. And it has just the right amount of like sweetness, but also tang, and it's just really easy to use. So I like to have it right out so that way I can see it and I know that it's there. Okay, so over in this cabinet, which has the window fronts, I actually have a ton of cookbooks in here, so I just want to take a quick second to shout out some of my favorites. This is the book on pie. It is an absolute must-have for me. I use this for like every single pie recipe, and I really, really love that. And this is Mooncakes and Milk Bread, which is a book all about Asian baked goods, and I absolutely love the recipes in here as well. Okay, I want to take a second to talk about some of my favorite like plattery but also bakeware items because I find that those are really versatile. And my favorite place to get that is actually at Crate & Barrel, but I will try to link some similar dupes from just Amazon or Target or something like that down below. So this is just a small casserole dish, and I love this because it has the handles, but I also love this because not only does it look really clean and simple to make something like a baked mac and cheese to serve in, but this can also go in the oven. And so it's really nice to have bakeware that you can put in the oven, but then also put immediately out on the table to serve and still like the look of it. And over here, I also have a lot of things like that. So this is one of my absolute favorites. These are little soup bowls, like bistro soup bowls, again from Crate & Barrel, because this can go in the oven with some onion soup and then Gruyere cheese on top to get it all melty and browned. And I absolutely love these, and I think it's so cute to serve soup inside of its own little crock dish. And since you know it's only two of us here, I also love these mini pie plates. These are from Emily Henry. I ordered some of their pie dishes and they sent these, I think, as like a gift with purchase at the time. And I absolutely love them. We use them for more than just making pie, but really cute and really nice for when you're only like cooking for 2 people or maybe just even 1. This is like the perfect little size. I also want to talk about this. This is a little carafe that I have. It's a glass carafe. It was a gift. I love this. I use it mostly to refill my coffee machine, which we'll talk about in a second, which is definitely one of my favorite things in the kitchen. But this is just really cute, and it's also like the perfect size to fill up water. But I could totally see serving like an Aperol spritz that you've pre-mixed to serve to your guests. This would be really amazing for that. Okay, so I do want to talk about a few appliances that I have in here. There are a few behind me, which you guys can obviously see, but one that I keep tucked away in a cabinet is actually something that I absolutely love. This is my rice cooker. This is an aroma rice cooker. I got it online. It's super affordable, but if you're someone who really enjoys like a white rice, this is an absolute must-have. I grew up with one of these in my childhood home, and when I moved into this apartment, I didn't originally think that I wanted a rice cooker. I just felt like it was another appliance that would take up too much room. Then I tried to make rice the old-fashioned way on the stove. Did not come out perfect every time. This, though, will never fail you. It is a true kitchen workhorse. It takes like 15 minutes to just make a small portion of rice. And obviously, the more that you put in it, the longer it's going to take. But perfect rice every time. Really love this. Sticking with appliances, this is my cafe espresso maker. This is by GE. When I was picking out my coffee machine for this apartment, I knew that I didn't want to do something that used pods or capsules. I wanted something that I could put real fresh coffee in, not even pre-ground coffee. And for the amount of counter space that I had in this apartment, I knew that I wanted something pretty slim. What I love about this machine is that it makes fresh espresso, Americanos, or any kind of custom drink that you want. It also has the steam wand, so I can make myself a latte in the morning. When you're living in the city, coffee here, if you go out, like a latte will cost you close to like $8 per drink. And I use this at least twice a day for my morning coffee and afternoon coffee, and I absolutely love it. Underneath it, you'll notice that I do have this sliding tray so that way I can refill the coffee machine really easily with water, and the bean hopper's already built into it, so I don't have to do anything like grind the coffee first or worry about pulling the espresso shot. It's all integrated into this machine, and all I have to do is empty out the coffee pucks at the end of like a few days once they've built up, and it's a perfect coffee every time. Pretty expensive machine, but honestly, compared to other like espresso machines on the market, it's really affordable actually. You might notice that tucked behind it, I do have this drying mat. I folded it up and kind of tried to hide it out of the way as best I could, but I do really love those. I don't like the look of having a bulky drying rack on your counter, but having a mat that you can lay out, put things on while you're washing them to dry, and then stow away later on, to me is really nice and really practical. In this back cabinet, I keep all of my baking items, but I do want to just give a quick shout out to these OXO containers. These are the pop airtight containers. I have a ton of them in here. These ones have my breadcrumbs. Then I've got, sugar that definitely needs refilling. I love these though. They're obviously a staple in like most kitchens, I feel like at this point, but I just want to give a quick mention to those. Back here, I have my bulkier appliances. This is my KitchenAid. And you'll notice that I have the bigger size KitchenAid here. I do a lot more baking than the average person does, I want to say. Probably a little too much once in a while, but I opted for the bigger one. I will tell you, I don't recommend this professional line to the average person. Honestly, for my daily use, I don't even want this machine. What the bigger size is really great for is like if you're doing a giant batch of like Christmas cookies and you're making cookie boxes for people, which I do. This is great when you want to like triple up a cookie recipe. but it is really too big to just like whip up whipped cream or something like that. So I love this. I also love the artisan line. So if you're looking for a stand mixer yourself, I'm gonna link both options below. And then in this corner, I have my Soda Stream. And this, let me tell you, if you guys like seltzer, this is an absolute game changer. I don't have to go out and get plastic bottles. I don't have to go out and get like glasses of Pellegrino bottles. This is just absolutely amazing. Not only is it reducing the waste because now I don't have to go out and buy those single-use bottles, but it also makes like the best seltzer because you get to control how much you fizz it. I went with the kind of prettier looking model and I use it all day long, multiple times a day, and I keep like a ton of cold water in the fridge so that way I can just fizz it up and enjoy it all day long. Okay, I thought I was done at the back of the kitchen, but I actually have a few more things that I want to mention in my drawers over there, so let's go back. So down here I have 2 large drawers that I use for storage, and I just want to talk about a few little items that I have in there. A lot of the items that are in here, and this is a messy drawer, so we're not gonna let you peek in there, are things that, you know, someone else in my family had but wasn't necessarily using. I wanted to try and not buy new things as much as possible. One thing that I do recommend having is a stainless steel bowl. These are really great, one, because you can normally buy them in like a set of 3, which is what I have here. But they're great for like a double boiler setup on the stove, which I do a lot, but also just great for mixing things, or also like if you want to bring out meat to defrost and you want to put them in a bowl on the counter. This is nice. Stainless steel is also super sanitary, so just a really great workhorse item in the kitchen. This is the Chef''N juicer. This is like the best juicer that, like, according to rating systems online for squeezing lemon juice or lime juice. I do really like it. I don't know if it's like really the best, but it's really easy to use actually. So if you're someone who doesn't have like the strongest wrists or fingers, this is a really great item to have, and everyone should have a hand juicer like that, I think. And then I know that I talked about the stand mixer in the back, but something that I love about KitchenAid stand mixers is that you can get attachments for them. And the attachment that I recommend everyone have that has a KitchenAid is a grater. This is the cheese grater, essentially, attachment, or at least that's how I use it. You could grate other things like carrots or zucchini or whatever you want. And especially in recipes, there are many times where you need to say, grate a block of cheddar. And I have cut my hand so many times on a box grater that this saves me so much time and also pain because I no longer am slicing my finger open. And then down in this bottom section, I do want to take a second to give a shout out to my favorite pans. This is the Nordic Ware pan. I have it in the quarter sheet sizes and then also in like the largest sheet size that actually fits in my pan. But what I also really love about this brand is that they do make these covers so that way when you're doing something like bringing cookies to someone's house or making something for like a potluck and you want to transport it, you can just cover it with this lid that fits perfectly to the pan. Since I also make a lot of bread and baked things that need to rest, this is really great at that because you no longer have to pull out a sheet of like saran wrap or plastic wrap to put on top. You can actually use the lid that's fit perfectly to it, and I find it really convenient and easy to do, and I love it. Okay, so the one true last thing that I want to talk about in this kitchen, which is going to sound so silly to anyone watching this, is Dawn Power Wash. Promise I'm not sponsored, but this is honestly like the thing in my kitchen that I use multiple times a day, and I find it to be absolutely irreplaceable. This is great for, you know, spraying down my pans and my sheet pans and things like that, or just like things that I'm cooking with. But I also use this on the regular to clean surfaces, like washing down my countertop, washing the stove after it gets really messy. Even if you like, you know, your dishwashing soap to begin with, really check one of these out and you might just feel the way that I do. very impassioned that this is like a must in everyone's kitchen. Okay, so that is it. That is everything that I'm absolutely obsessed with in my kitchen. I hope that you guys found this video helpful or interesting. If you guys want to check out anything, again, I'm listing everything that I can down in the description box below. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! And if you guys want to go and check out one of my other videos, you can go ahead and click on those here or click on my face to subscribe.